welcome back to Pushing Pixels. I am your host, Sam Mestis, and I'm sorry I haven't been around for a while doing tutorials, but it has been a super busy summer. But I'm going to make up for that now because I saw this on the side of a van or something very similar to this, and I thought, well, that would make an interesting tutorial. So let's get cracking. I got a Photoshop document here that is 1920 by 1080, and for those of you who don't know, that's standard DVC Pro high definition television ratio, and I'm at 72 dots per inch. So let's keep going. I got my black layer here, and I'm going to start a new layer above that, and I'm going to set my foreground color to white and grab my marquee tool. Now if you hold down the Alt key and you pick right in the bottom center, you can constrain the from where you're pulling the white from. And I should tell you, in full disclosure, I have my feather set at 75, so it softens up that edge. And so I'm going to start at the bottom here and hold down my Alt key and reach out and let go. Now you can't see it yet, but when I fill that with white, Alt background, I get that soft edge like that. The other thing I have here is an Apple logo, and I'm going to hold down my Shift key and drag that to my document, and that's going to put it right in the center. Oh wait, no, cancel that. Let's get out of there. And free transform. I'm going to scale it down just a bit. Command T, and that's good for now. Right below that apple, let's put a brand new layer, and we're going to fill that with white, but I'm going to use the apple as my selection set. So Command, click on your apple, and then on that layer below, fill it with white. Alt, delete. Now it is back there. You can kind of see the outline a little bit. And let's blur that white apple with a Gaussian blur. And I'm going to use 10. 10 looks pretty good. Awesome. Below that layer, I'm going to, we need another shadow. So this time actually I'm going to show you, I'll hold down the Command key and click on the layer. And that will put that layer right below your apple. There's a little trick there. And again, with black as my foreground color, press D to reset. And I'm going to make another little oval right underneath that, although 75 might be a bit too high on the feather. Why don't we do 25 on that? Let's try that. That'll let me select. That looks like it might work. And fill that with black. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to do it even a little bit lower. Let me get rid of that guy. And maybe put it down to 15. Let me select my marquee again and see if that works. Much better. Nice little shadow. Push that down a little bit. Okay, let's duplicate this apple layer. Command J to do that. And on the one that's in back, we are also going to make that a shadow because I want two light sources. I want one sort of coming across this, and I also want a spotlight down, which is what gives me that shadow. But tone that down a bit. But I also want an opposing light, so that's what this second apple here is for. And I'm going to free transform that, Command T. And if you hold on your Control key, you can get that flyout menu, and we're going to go to Distort. And I am going to pull this Apple logo down in the back, like so, and see how that works. Perfect. And again, Gaussian blur that. Not bad. That's kind of what I was looking for. It's close enough for now. What else do we have to do? We have to use the background because I want this background, this white arc, to reflect the front of the arc in the apple. So I'm going to take those two. Actually, let's turn off every layer except the white and the black. And on a layer above that, a brand new layer, I am going to hold down my Alt key, hit this flyout up here, and hit Merge Visible, and that will merge those two layers onto one. And if I drag that to the top and hold down my Alt key again, I'm going to clip it to the black apple just like that, and you can see the reflection, but in this case we're going to actually transform it, this back selection, and flip it vertical. So there you go. So now it looks a little bit different, and if we move that down a little bit, you can kind of see how that's going to work. Not bad. Hope everybody got that. That was a little weird. Looking pretty good. Some of the last things we have to do now are, we're going to play with that glow in the back in a second, but over the top of it, I want to use a brush and put a little lens flare on it, but I'm not going to use the regular lens flare from the filters. I'm going to use 8 Suns, which I got from Brush Easy. You've seen me use it before. I've used it on a couple of other ones, and it's one of my favorite brushes. And it's sort of this half moon crescent looking brush, and I'm actually going to put it on this apple. Even though it's not round, it makes a nice little lens flare, and if I had any sense I would have done it in white. There it goes. And if I could turn my opacity up to 100, that might even help me too. There we go. There we go. Much better. Looking good now. And I'm going to put a layer mask on that. And if I just use a regular brush, let me reset the brushes here. Yeah, just reset those. And I'm going to use just a nice big brush and soften it up a little bit, turn the opacity down, and just paint out with black on this mask. Just paint out some of this lens flare around the sides here so it doesn't look so round. There you go. Not so bad. And let's add one more lens flare. I should probably not have closed that out. Go back to 8 brushes and we'll do that. And then there's this guy here, and white again selected. Whoa. And we're going to scale this down a bit. And that looks pretty cool. Maybe even scale it up a bit. Let's see what we got going on here. Not bad. I'll turn that down just a smidge. Looking pretty good. Now I'm going to put a layer mask on this white apple we put on there, because I want to sort of take off the bottom end of it one more time and make it look a little bit more, I don't want the glow showing too much down through here. I just kind of want the glow to stay on top. Let's also put a bevel on that black apple. Just bevel emboss. And I'm actually going to play the color or the light just a little bit here so we get an edge on the inside and on the outside. That looks interesting. Move this glow over just a smidge and maybe take the opacity down just a hair. And there you go. A nice quick little logo, nothing too fancy 3D wise, and you can certainly embellish on this, although that might look a little bit better, but you get the gist. Hey, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Thanks again.